I work is that I work a lot in journals, but let's say I get an idea. Let's say I've got an idea about a boy in a flood or something. Maybe that idea has come from a photograph, and it doesn't always happen. As soon as I saw that photograph, I had the idea, bang, that I could write a story about a boy living in a tree. So then what I do is, of course, I have to decide quite a few things. I get a book, and I had this one right then, this notebook. Sometimes I use big ones. And the first thing I do is I start working on the character, because I think the character is the backbone of a story, the scaffolding, if you like. If I don't get that right, the story's not going to work. It's going to be hard to write. But once I've got an idea of my character, I start doing research. I had to do research, for example, on floods and stuff like that. And then I start writing a draft. And I still write draft by hand. I know a lot of people think that's really strange, but I write faster than I can type. So I do that, I write by hand, and then I type it up, and then I just keep going. I try and get this rough draft done. And then I just begin this process of rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. All right up to June last year, I suppose, I was writing at the desk, and then I bought a Surface Pro, which meant I could write anywhere. So that's why, I guess, if it's sunny outside, then I write outside in the patio, or if it's cold and we've got to put a fire on, then I write upstairs in the lounge now. I found that living in Pakistan affected me so much that it's where I began writing, even though I wanted to write when I was younger. And then living there in Pakistan made me just see so much and feel so much, and probably being abroad is what actually started me writing. But it's usually got to be something either I've experienced or I've been there, or very rarely do I write something that where I haven't been or have no experience of, because it's just easier to write it. If it's not impossible, I just got to do lots more research probably. But I have done a historical fantasy, but I still set it where we used to live in Pakistan. It's a wonderful thing to be able to write, I think, for young people, for people who are forming their worldviews and thinking about the world and passionate about saving it, all sorts of things, and they're still working out who they are. So I think that's a big responsibility in a way to write for people of that age. Some of the things I remember the most is perhaps just all of a sudden having that moment of aha type of moment when I finally worked out what was wrong with my plot. Or sometimes an object did that. This is a writing compendium, and this is what really helped my plot one day when I couldn't work out how come the girl, she'd found things in here, letters, but the final letter that had the secret in, how could I make her see that last? And so I didn't realise that under here is a secret drawer, and she pulled that open by accident and found, here we go, this little drawer. So you really could chop up a letter, and especially if it was all the way across or something. Writing for me is a little bit like, it feels like something I was born to do. I think that's why I like writing. It's a little bit like breathing.